Not very far from the Tower of London, in the heart of the city, is one of the worst rated KFCs in the whole of the city. Why am I smiling? I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit stupid, because the food that I'm about to eat is probably going to be crap. Yeah, there were a lot of people walking past, so I didn't want to say an insanely profane word like crap in front of them. But anyway, as I got closer to the KFC, I was starting to get just very slightly optimistic as I saw one customer walking in and I saw one customer walking out. So sure, that meant the food must have been slightly edible, right, if they were still alive. Before we go in, let's look at some of the reviews. Prices must go down. Food is not always fresh. Probably the worst KFC I have ever been to. The one-piece chicken was dry and tasteless, and the Zinger Tower Burger was burnt as well as dry. Terrible chicken at this KFC, way overcooked and left on a hot shelf. Chicken was so overdone that the chicken meat was a grey colour. There were a lot of bad reviews about the toilets too. The Zinger Burger had a hard bun, like it's been sitting there all day. The lettuce was not fresh, and it was slightly discoloured, and I am never ever coming here for food, ever again. Overall, they rely on the footfall from the Tower of London, so the standard is terrible. And then a review from good old Fredericksburg, Texas, USA. Crap. I don't know what they've done to an American classic. Won't recommend this to anyone. Stick to the US KFC. Just awful. And yes, my American accent is just awful too, despite the fact that I've been there many times. So let's go in and check out the KFC underground at level 0. So first of all, as I walked in, I was greeted by a bunch of garbage bags right next to the entrance. Despite it being a fairly busy time in London, there were not a lot of customers inside, and the floor fairly clean. The famous toilets that people complain about were not accessible as they were closed for refurbishment, so at least they're trying to fix them. And this side of the KFC was absolutely empty. And there we have our chicken dinner, all for the amazing price of $9.99. The mighty bucket for one comes with 2 pieces, 2 wings, 2 strips and fries, but look at the size of one of the pieces of chicken, and the other piece is just basically rib cage, a little bit of meat here and hollow on top. And just so we could really get an idea of how this KFC tastes as a whole, popcorn chicken, and even a mini burger too. Let's start with the popcorn chicken. Looking a bit dry. I really do not get the hype about popcorn chicken. It just tasted like it was absolutely overloaded with MSG. Like if I blindfolded you and gave you a piece of doner meat and I gave you a piece of popcorn chicken without the crust, I highly doubt you would be able to tell the difference. But the weird thing is, at the same time, it had a very vegan taste. It didn't even really taste like chicken or meat. I am not too impressed. Next, the bun for the mini burger, as the reviews had stated, was very plasticky, and the lettuce is looking a little brown on the edges. Maybe the lettuce has been dragged through the out of order toilets. Now that, I will admit, is very nice. It has a very strong black pepper taste. The mayo is nice and creamy, but the lettuce is making it a little off-putting. I'm pretty sure it's come out of a bag. So if you remove the lettuce, which has a little bit of a chemically taste, that would actually be really nice. 5 out of 10? 5 out of 10. And next up was the gravy that was looking a little like Pepsi as it was so thin. Is this real? Like real chicken gravy? Again, for some reason, like I said about the popcorn chicken, it has a little bit of a vegetably vegan taste. 5 out of 10 again. Chips, gravy. And the chips surprisingly were very nice. They had a very nice fresh potato taste. Like they've come out of a chippy almost. And now onto the wings. I think they've been browned and cooked a little too long. The coating has a little bit of a burnt taste. The coating alone, when you taste it without the chicken, is not very flavorful at all. But to be fair, the chicken on the inside, that's nicely marinated. And now we have our pigeon-sized chicken breast. Draw your own conclusions from that cross-section, and by the amount of times I had to chew, and I'm still chewing right now, and because the gravy is not nice, unctuous, velvety and thick, it's just like pouring water over it, which is not making it any more moist at all. The chicken on the inside, 2 out of 10. 1 out of 10, minus 1 out of 10. So overall for £9.99, was that bucket worth it? No, absolutely not. Was that burger worth it for £2? No, it probably should be about £1.50. But there is one thing that you have to bear in mind. These criticisms can probably be levelled at every KFC. I'm pretty sure it's not just the Tower Hill KFC that is providing food like this. I just think the company as a whole has gone absolutely down the drain, and maybe in respect and honour of Colonel Sanders, they should now remove his picture from the logo, as they're really not living up to his name. Instead, they're besmirching his name.